Your tone is really a reflection of the way you're hearing yourself in your own head. What your fingers are searching for starts in the head, and then it has to come out in the fingers. Steve Vai here, and I am in the historical Guitar Center Hollywood building with some historically old guitars, but I'm going to be showing you some new stuff. Looking forward to it. Well, you know, being a guitar player, I've gone through every kind of permeation of little warm-up rigs and backstage rigs. They've come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes through the years. They also became a lot more complicated. And I was looking for something very simple that I could actually hear through a speaker that's small enough and sounded good enough. And I came across this positive grid. It kind of checked all the boxes. I was contacted by the good people at Positive Grid, asking if maybe I would perhaps be interested in working with them on a little signature Mini Vai. And I was very excited about that because having a good, easy practice amp was vital, especially when I got on tour. You just plug it in and it sounds good. You've got 4 presets. You have a guitar volume for your input, and you also have a volume for music because it's Bluetooth and it'll play all sorts of backing tracks. I usually take 3 of these on tour. I always use it backstage. I'm on my Spark Mini. I get on the bus. I have a Spark Mini there. I get in my hotel room. I have one in my luggage. But if you only have one, it's easy to carry it around. When I got the Spark Mini and I started messing around with it, I was asked to write some presets that would come at the face of it. In thinking about what kind of presets, if I had my choice of 4, it's kind of like a desert island tone gathering. And usually my big rigs consist of a very clean tone, a little bit of a, distorted tone, fatter rhythm tone with a lot more gain, and also then a solo tone. So those were the 4 I kind of picked. I had to come up with names for them. How about fresh? That would be clean. Mild, self-explanatory. Hot, and fire. The fresh patch is relatively clean. And then you click on to the mild, and you get a little more. The hot setting is usually the one I use to just warm up. We have the all-out fire setting. One of the most surprising things to me about this is how much technology can be fit in an app that can control so many different parameters of a tone. If you're a guitar player, you understand all the different amplifiers that are available to you. They all have a different personality, a different quality. And when you come to an app like this, it has a plethora of amplifiers that you can choose from. And what's surprising is that they do sound different. You can choose any one of these, and some of them have a familiar face to them. So you kind of get an idea of what it's going to sound like when you start adding them to your signal chain. And then with all these effects, you just click on them and you get this option for all sorts of various kinds of delay pedals, reverb pedals, compressors, and they all have a little bit of a different sound quality and tone. And when I'm building my sounds for this, I'm kind of looking at the icon and getting an intuitive understanding of what it's probably going to sound like. And then I get in there and I start fooling with it, find myself gravitating to particular things. And it kind of doesn't matter what amp it's coming from because you're looking for a particular sound. And some amps might give you a few more parameters to find it. What I was so surprised at was the amount of options that are available to you. Everybody that picks up a guitar or any instrument and plays it, they have a tone to the way they play. Every player has a go-to kind of a sound that they're comfortable with. Some people it's very clean, some people it's got some delay, some people it's just over the top distorted. When I go to build a tone, I'm going to be playing some of the stuff that I'm going to be playing on stage. So I'm going to be needing something that's relatively similar to my tone coming through my stage amps. Virtually every time I sit down to play, to practice, or to just jam, usually my band isn't there. So I'm always reaching for a backing track. One of the great features of this unit, it comes with a bunch of backing tracks. You can add your tracks to it. You can build new ones. The ones I loaded were from snippets of songs from my catalog. You just hit this little music button and you get all these great backing tracks. One of the cool things, as the song goes by, the chord changes go by. So you can read the changes as changes go by. It's fantastic. As Positive Grid were evolving this little Mini, they were telling me AI is all the rage. They incorporated it into the unit. You push this little button here, describe a tone that you might be looking for, and it'll actually create that tone. I'm going to try that right now, and you can type it in, or you can hit the microphone. Sultry, smooth, twilight. It got it. Let's see what it does. And the amazing thing is it'll give you 4 options to choose from, and it actually even shows you all of the stacks and the effects that it uses. Let's see what this thing's idea of sultry, smooth, twilight is. Very nice. Let's see what one of the other ones is. Cool. Another one. Got a little bit of twilight in it. Nice. And then once you take one of these stacks, you can mess around with it. Save it, change the presets. Let's do another one just for fun. Gigantic monster that lives under the bed. There's your gigantic monster. Let's see what the other one is. Pretty cool. Bad. Get back under the bed, boy. I thought maybe I'd hear an octave divider on it. I thought I'd hear real brittle kind of distortion. There's a combination of that within these 4 presets. When I was doing this, when I first was experimenting with the unit, I was just sitting there all day, just giving it direction. It's really kind of interesting. I'm looking forward to how AI evolves within this whole community. I feel pretty fortunate to be here now and to be able to have access to such great new kinds of gear. It happens occasionally, there's evolutions in all sorts of aspects of the music industry. But for someone like myself, this amp is like a little pinnacle experience because it's so compact, it's so easy to take around with you, and it's so powerful, and it sounds good. It's very private. If you can put headphones on, nobody hears what you're doing. I just love it. I really do. And you can get it right here at Guitar Center.